Hi, everyone, and welcome. Whew, so far, this is a whoosh this morning. It's been busy morning so far for me. Getting my husband wanted me to get dinner ready now so that because it's really hot. So, tuna casserole. So, getting stuff together so he doesn't have to do too much mowing the lawn, watering the lawn, doing some yard work this morning. So, it's been a little bit busy. I ended up getting an iced coffee this morning. Woo, yum. And so I got my iced coffee this morning. And if you notice, just up over here in this corner, wah, blah, 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 blah. I can't do this. Man, how come other people could do this so perfectly? Anyways, boop, 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 boop is doop, 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 that over there, that over there, that over there. Journey Club is starting. Journey Club begins September 13th. So if you are wanting to join, it's 8 weeks. It's my signature course. I teach it every year. I've been teaching it for the last 12 years, I'd say. Started off with my little guinea pigs, my little, experimental people that decided to say, oh yeah, we'll do that with you for 8 weeks, Mary. And came in and joined me for 8 weeks. And I've been doing it ever since. Always knew that the Journey Club was something different. Always knew that it wasn't mine. That's what I was always told when I was doing it. They told me it wasn't mine. And let me see if I can pull it. Do I have it here? Do I? There's a book. I always have a book. I never have it. See, this is what my guides do to me. Is that they say, there's a book. There it is. So just hang on. I'm coming. I'm not far away. But the Journey Club, this is one of my journals. And it's a very well-used journal. And this is where the Journey Club was. And if I look at the date, it's 2009. So I wrote it out in 2009, taught it in 2010, started doing it in 2010. And in here comes in where I was working with the chakras and grounding to work through. I have a chakra class that's in here. Wow. And there's another book that's very similar to this. And this is where I also do something else. I pull out pictures when I had magazines, and I pull out pictures of things that I love and things that I would love to get. And so one of the things that I pulled out, and I'm just going to show it to you. It's my fan going. See this tent. I still love this tent, but I ended up having a tent, not this color, but in beige in my living room. And I set it up, and I had a very similar couch in there. Didn't have the plants and stuff, but just had things hanging, and that was one of my dream things. And this is one of my oases. Like, I definitely would love to get a tent like this again and put it up in my backyard. I have had some and they get blown down, but I want a nice sturdy one that's not going to get blown down. I love tents, and I love working in tents. It's a past life thing. But I was told by a good friend, Heather, and she said, well, your course is in a book. And there it was. And the course had to do with Deepak Chopra and Byron Katie, and two things that I took through them: meditation through Deepak Chopra, and a course called The Work through Byron Katie. And through that, and then I was working with crystal consciousness and the chakras. So it all came to me, and I was daily I was writing things down and putting things together. And this is what I started to look at. And, in here, like relationships, emotional, physical well-being is closely linked to our attitudes about life and energy flows and thoughts. When we feel good about ourselves and accept who we are, we love and a gracious spirits. And we create good things to happen in our lives. When we fail to love ourselves, we leave an opening for negative experiences to come our way. I wrote that in 2009. And this is where, and how true is that? I mean, how true is that? And that's part of the Journey Club. So we hear a different vibration, sounds and travels, same as the vibrations we give off. They are like sounds, and we, as the universe, picks up on that vibration. So today, let's get into this. I just love this because this is what I wrote. This is what sometimes I'm amazed. I'm amazed at the things that I wrote, because when I write many times, I'm channeling and I don't really realize what I'm writing. I just write it down. The angels work in a vibration, and so do the planets. The planets all have a vibrational, same with Gaia. So Gaia has a vibration, the sun has a vibration. They all give off a vibration, right? And we are all within that vibration, that universal vibration with everything. And so we have colors and sounds, and the colors you see from us is a vibrational sense. So we, with our auras, have a vibrational sense. Our auras give off this beautiful energy. And one of the things when doing, and even within my chakra class, which I'll be teaching, brings in the vibration, and sometimes through the vibration of a crystal bowl, or listening to different crystal bowls, different sounds to raise our vibration, to cleanse, to clear. Music is fabulous. Sound vibration. And they even have done, NASA has done, when they've gone by the different planets, where they have recorded the sounds of Saturn or the sounds of Jupiter. And even with the earth gives off a vibrational sound. So we hear it. I mean, sometimes we don't hear it, but it's there. And as they are giving off these vibrations, these energies that are, going through the cosmos, and they hit Earth. And, in astrology, we look at, it's not helio astrology, which is where the sun is at the center. So this is Western astrology. And we look at the Earth being the center and how the planets are related to the Earth. So today, and how the planets are going, we have the moon is in Scorpio, and it's intense, man. This is intense energy. It's squaring the sun. And so we're going to have the first quarter square with the sun and moon, because it's working. So the first quarter square is working towards the full moon. And then the last quarter square is when we're coming to the new moon. So this is the first quarter square. So this is having us to take a look at what are the things, because we had a new moon. And if you are doing the 2.5 year cycle work with this last new moon and 30-day cycle, this is starting to get you to sort of like look at what is it that you are wanting to tweak, what's going and what's not going. So this is a time of evaluation and looking at those evaluations within your life and taking time to sort that out. And the moon in Scorpio, it is also going through what we call the fire, the wall of fire. So it's going through this, it's like this energy that it's going through right now as it's in Scorpio. So it's going through this intense energy. We have a yod and we have a hammer of Thor. The yod is with the sun. The hammer of Thor, is with Mars. Pluto is involved in both. Pluto and Eris are forming a hammer of Thor to Mars, and Pluto and Neptune are forming a yod to the sun. So this is wanting us to get direction. Where is our direction that we want? And much of this is what we call fated. That means that it is destined to happen. And we also have Mercury coming up and squaring the nodes. This vibration and this intensity within this weekend is having us to look at our emotions. And our emotions are fighting. And you might have felt this before, because I know I was feeling very stressed out. I was feeling anxiety. And I knew, okay, it's a build up to all of this. But this is giving you a clarity. Okay, emotional realization to your future. And this is where whatever you are doing, if you are not clear with your actions, if you are not looking at your actions with clarity, then there is consequences of your actions. And that's where Eris comes in. She just loves to give people consequences to their actions because, she's the goddess of discord and she kind of likes a lot of gruel and gross things. So, and then we have Athena. Athena is health. And so the Pallas Athena. So wants, what do you want to do and not have to do it? So this is also looking at things in your life that maybe there are things that you really thought that this is what you wanted to do, but you don't want to. Now you have to really sit on this. Is this really, are you wanting to do it? Now, is your ego coming in with this? And is there a lot of fear? And why is this fear coming in? This is very psychological based. So there's a lot of psychology that's coming into this and looking at the psychological analysis of what it is that you are doing and why you are doing what you're doing. It also has to do with relationships. Now, if there is something that is very important and you know that you have to do it, and then you're thinking, well, no, I can't do it. It's whatever, whatever the reason is, you have to look at it and say, am I willing to backtrack out of this and hold the consequences of why I need to do it? Because the world isn't very forgiving when you back out of something. If you back out of something, the world it has a hard time in forgiving. And sometimes, especially in today's world, things are held. You are held accountable for eons for something that you did wrong or you said wrong. And this is where you have to reverse or modify. And this is a strategic decision. And you got to take into account the new information. So if you're receiving new information of the reasons why you can't do it, so let's say you got into a contract with somebody and you were told that a certain person or a certain organization wouldn't be a part of it because they didn't morally align with you. You knew that there are parts of their organization was not in your alignment, like it just would not work. Then that's information that just came and you're like, I'm going to have to back out of this because this is not morally aligning with me. This is not what I had signed up to do. So when you're looking at it in that way, it's like, no, I got to backtrack out of this. I got to honor what my morals and my values are, right? And looking at your morals and values. And this is where you can look at and you can sort of start making a change of course of action. So this is where this energy comes in. And remember, the planets, as they're vibrating, as they are forming these energies and these aspects within the sky around the earth, we are feeling them before and after because, they are moving. And as they are moving and going around, that vibration, and the vibration is going through the earth. And many times it has to do with what is in your natal chart on how much you feel it. For me, I have where my sun is. I think my sun is at 14 degrees. So my sun is squaring the sun. The moon is conjuncting my sun. The moon conjuncts my sun every month. That's fine. I can do that. But it's also where my sun is squaring Saturn. And I was born with the sun square Saturn. So it is that this is bringing in like a double whammy of energy. So this is where you learn to work with it. What do I got to work with? And even with the yod, it's like looking at the yod and yes, you're being pointed, but maybe you don't know the whole information of where the direction is leading you, that you have to wait to respond. You don't have all the information yet. So with the yod, you may not have all the information, especially with Neptune and Pluto. Those two together can be tricksters. So Neptune wants to get you into the dream world. Pluto wants to hold you into transformation and change. So it's like looking into your reality reality, not illusionary, and saying, okay, I don't see things as clearly as I'd like to. And I need to wait to see where the direction is coming. I have a feeling for it, but I may not have the mundanely sight for it at this time. So this is where it's like there's a lot of emotion coming in this weekend. There's a lot of things ending, a lot of things ending. And especially when you have Pluto and Neptune together. So you got, and Pallas Athena comes in. So you have to look at anything that is drug or alcohol related, anything that is illusionary related, because Pluto, hey, if you're going to give me people for my underworld, I'll take them. Right. And Neptune is like, well, they just kind of got lost over here, or they OD'd. And with Pallas Athena in Pisces too, she's like, okay, I've tried to give you warnings about your health. I've tried to give you, so that you understand how, what to and what not to do. So there is this extremes that are coming in today. And there is negative stuff that needs to be worked out. There's negative energy there that you have that you need to work out, or there's situations that you have to sit there and you have to work them out and be honest with it. And if you're not, I mean, of course, that's your decision to not be honest, but looking at things with clarity and taking that time with clarity and honoring that because of the intensity of everything that's coming in. If you're not taking that time to look at it and I'm going to start bringing in the tarot cards. So I'm at Heritage Park. So my regular tarot are at the park. So I left them there overnight. But here are the angel cards. So what is it going to be like if you're not going to take the action that you need to take? What is it that, what is that, what is spirit or God or goddess and the angels need us to know with this, Oh, 5 of Airs. So that's the 5 of Swords. So the 5 of Swords comes in. So what we need to know is that we need to learn what you can from the situation. 5 of Swords, 5 of Airs is like, the swords, 2 people are walking away and you got the 3 swords. You have 1 up and 2 down. You're walking away from a situation. So looking at what is the situation that you need to walk away from, because there is some unwise choices that are going to happen and you need to sit there and get the clarity with it. So air comes in. So it's very strategic in what it is that you need to do. And as you are learning, or as you are looking at how can you get clarity with that, justice comes in. That's the Libra energy. So fair and justice decision. Do you want to do what you know is right and stand up for your beliefs? Wow. So with the energies that are coming in, it's saying you got to stand up for your beliefs. If that is not in your alignment, if that is causing you negative stress, if you are, even with it, let's say you have a relationship with even a child or a sibling, and you know that they haven't made any actions for change. And this is a fine line, because if they have made actions for change, are you still hanging on to their past and not seeing where they are going now? So this is very much where I got like somebody who's gone to AA. And everybody knew them as this drunk or drug addict. They knew them as that person. And that's what they've seen. Now they have been working and going through the steps. They've been doing their due diligence. And this is where they come to you. So they're coming to you. They're making their amends. They're talking to you. And you're in there and you're just like, why are you here? Because every time you were here, you always wanted something, and they're like, no, I'm just coming here to say I'm sorry and to apologize for my actions in the past. I'm letting you know that I am making changes and moving in a positive direction. Whether you accept that or not, that is up to you. That person is just making that step forward. It's up to you. So you got to review what are your motives and what are their motives, and what is that with the negative stuff? What is that negative stuff that you're still hanging on to? Is it from the past? Are you still hanging on from stuff from the past that is no longer has anything to do with now? Like you're just hanging on to it because that's what you know, and the person has making changes. What is it? Because the Justice card is coming in, and that's Archangel Raguel. That is Libra. And Libra is the ruler of Venus. Venus is the ruler of Libra. So what is that higher self that you want to go to and connect with? Because Venus is going to be going into Libra on Sunday. So looking at what is it that I need to connect with? What is that energy I need to connect with? And what is the outlook? What would be the outlook? Ace of Waters. Spiritual growth, enhancement. Ace of Waters. So you have that Ace of Waters. So you have this lovely mermaid going down, grabbing and going down to the depths. So this is in the unconsciousness. So as we are reaching to the depths of the unconscious, as we are coming down, where there's a resurgence, if you allow it, of the relationship. There's a resurgence if you allow for that change. If you know that there's been that change, you're able to move it. If there isn't, because unfortunately, many times, because Neptune is involved right now, there is that discourse. There is that energy that is saying, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not there yet. I have to admit to myself, I'm not there yet. God bless you in your changes, but I have a lot to work through with my own self before I can just allow this to come through. And this is where you really honor that within you, honor the feelings that you're having. And this is where you look at a stealthy, strategic, where you are, because it is Scorpio, and Scorpio's clarity on deep emotions, and it's there for the next couple of days. So this is helping you to get into the clarity of your emotions, of what you're hanging on to and needing to let go of. And this is where it could be even where, you know what, I really loved you, but we're not seeing eye to eye, and we have to go. We have to part. We're not in that alignment anymore. And that's okay. I mean, for myself, as in the work I do, I love it. I love to see when my people, but when you grow and you expand and you find new teachers and you're learning and you're creating something fabulous for yourself, and you are working through what you need to work through. I love it. There's many of you out there that I can think of right now that are doing that. And there are some that are right now on the fence that you're ready to go. You're ready to, you know what? We just can't see eye to eye on a lot of things, and I got to move into a new direction. It's not that I don't love you. I love you, but I'm growing into a different place, and that's beautiful too. And that doesn't mean I don't love you or I stop loving you. It just means that it's time. It's time. And this is honoring that time. And this is where, and sometimes it's hard to do. It's hard to do, with it. And in the overall, it's also looking at, you got to open your eyes to new possibilities. So the Four of Waters comes in. So there's new opportunities that are going to come in. Don't get into the illusion or disillusion, because here it is. You mean the 4 cups, you're looking at 3 cups. You're not looking at the beautiful one behind you. You're looking at those 3 that are down there. You're not looking at that beautiful one that's there. You're stuck on those 3. You're stuck on what was. Still, you're not moving ahead. So this is a time of movement. This is a time of looking at that road that maybe you haven't gone on, and it kind of scares you and you're not too sure. But things are unfolding. Things are unfolding, and it's time for you to take some form of action. Some form of action today. And especially with Saturn and Uranus, and then the moon opposes Uranus. And to take a look at, where is Saturn? What is your Saturn in your chart? Where is it? How can you do your Saturn, and what does that mean? So those who've taken my planetary course, we talked about Saturn. And I gave you the handout. So look today, where is your Saturn? And how is Saturn, and what house is it? And what sign is it in? So take a look at where your Saturn is, because it'll help you to make the decisions that you need to make. And see what other planets that are around it or close by to it. So for me, my Saturn is in Aquarius, right? Some of you have Saturn in Capricorn. So look for how, because Pluto's in Capricorn right now. Plus, right now, a lot of you who are Capricorn, you guys are going through a hell of a lot of shit and transformation since 2008 with Pluto being in there. And Pluto is just bringing things and digging it up. And I find it funny because I did, and here's one of my things. I did pull up Trudeau's chart. He was born on Christmas Day in 1971. And his chart, he has some pretty crazy energy in his chart. He also has, I believe, what is it? His rising sign is, his moon is in Aries. His sun is in Capricorn. And wow, he's got that Virgo energy. He's not going to change anytime soon. He's very, this is what I'm going to do, especially with his sun and Saturn. And then he has his Neptune, Mercury, and Jupiter in his, so he's got Jupiter in Sagittarius. So, what he does, he's very good at manifesting and creating what he does, but he's in that energy of the old regime, of what's coming in. And his north node is in Aquarius, which is all about community, but his south node is in Leo, which is all about self and looking at, what do I need to do for myself? How does that look? So he's got a lot of changes that are going to be coming in for him, definitely. But for this election, I'm just going to say, for this election, because he's part of the Liberal Party, and he's got that Jupiter in the South Node, and people don't want to get out of the South Node. And Jupiter is in Aquarius right now. So if he, announcing an election, which we feel like, I think he is, there's the conservatives, there's not a hell of a lot of choices out there for us. But he does have that Capricorn energy, and Capricorn energy is very due diligent in getting things done. But, sometimes with the Capricorns, they can be a little bit of dicks. God, I mean, I love you all, but when I do things, or go out and I do talks, when I used to do talks, and it'd be funny, I'd be like, well, how many Capricorns are here? There wouldn't be one Capricorn in the room, because they feel like they already got it. They already know what they need to know. They're going to do what they're going to do. Right. And, it's one of the it's one of those things. But when they do come, when I do get a Capricorn and we're sitting there and talking and we're going through everything, they're just like, okay, that's when they're ready to change. That's when they're ready to change. They know that things have been crazy, because since 2008, with Pluto entering into Capricorn, and he goes and he's in there for 16 years, right? Around there. I think it's 16 years. So he's in a sign for 16 years. Libra is the shortest, it's 12. So he's in this sign. He's in there disrupting everything to do with the patriarchal system. Capricorn rules the patriarchal system. So if you are stuck on your systems, if you're stuck on the way things are to be, and this is what you're holding on to, Pluto's disrupting them. Saturn, Jupiter coming in last year, along with the whole gang coming in last year into, it was really bringing in disruption into the whole world. Okay. And now with Pluto just being in Capricorn and causing these disruptions, and the co-ruler or the other ruler, I mean, plus Pluto likes to be in there by himself because he can raise a lot of shit. Saturn there, this is about looking at the new structures you want to bring into your life, but yet you're very mundane, you're very earthly. Now, depending on where the moon is within your chart, I'm going to go with Justin. His moon is in Aries. So he's fire. He is a warrior. So he's strategic. And with Jupiter being in Sag too, he's got a lot of fire in his chart. And Mercury, or with a Virgo, he's looking at fine details. He sees things in very fine details. You don't think he's aware. You think he's being a jerk. But he's already 2 steps ahead of what other people think he is. That's the fucking scary part. He's almost like the magician, but not the good magician. There's a lot of things that are behind the curtain that he keeps concealed. And in keeping those things concealed, we don't see everything that he's up to. And there is a lot of like looking, just looking basically at his chart, a lot of dealings that we don't know about that are happening not only in his personal life, but also in his professional life. And those who are Capricorn, hey, Raylene, who are Capricorn, this is like, take a look at what's going on in your life. Take a look at what's happening. What are the structures in your life, and how are you being affected? Especially since you are now, with your sun being in there, there's Eris squaring Pluto in there. We got Neptune sextiling. So we don't want you to go to escapism, because Pluto will, Neptune will get you into escapism in some way. Usually drugs and alcohol will come in, and Eris coming in, because Eris is the goddess of discord. So she's bringing in a lot of information of what do you need to heal with your solar plexus, especially things to do with sexuality and healing those parts of our sexuality. And Pluto wants to raise that up. So that's also raising up a lot of things to do with our root and how we are dealing with our day-to-day routine. So there's a lot coming up, and there's a lot coming forward within our on the horizon. And we're going to see a whole lot of shit coming up. And then everybody's going to want to backtrack on what was told. And that's within the collective consciousness. So we're going to see information that's going to come up. And some people are going to be like, holy fuck, with all of this. So this is also looking at underhanded with Trudeau. We're looking at deals that were made that we won't know about. I mean, there's a lot of underhandedness, or a lot of under the hand, under the table that's in his, like, things going on within his chart. So it'd be interesting. It's like Obama and where his sun is, and the asteroid Lucifer is on top of his sun. So he could be all shiny and beautiful. I'm not saying that, but he can easily go into places that you wouldn't even think he could go into and do things. But he's very good at speaking and being the charmed one and charming people. So he's got the charmer energy. So does Trudeau. Plus, he just shaved off his beard. Baby face energy. So interesting. But yeah, so lots coming in for us. Let's draw one more card for us all. So we know that we're going to be looking at things and maybe missing opportunities with it all. So the overall energy that the divine is coming in to help us with, the King of Earth, he's helping us to get into our success. So in doing and releasing and doing that work and looking at that negativity and everything that has to be shaken off, we come into some success. The King of Pentacles, like this is a guy who is the Midas. This is a guy who loves his stuff. This is the Capricorn. This is a Capricorn king. He's a ruler. He likes his stuff. Now, if you like your stuff, and along with Taurus, so we got Taurus and Capricorn coming in saying, this is the way I like to have my place. This is the organization I have. I have a brother who's a Capricorn. Man, don't touch his shit. He knows. But I mean, he's very, everything is organized, and from his shirts and how he hangs his shirts to how he folds his ties. How the bed is made, how everything, I think he still lays his clothes out before in what he's going to wear the next day. So God bless you, Pat, if you ever hear this. I love you. But he's very organized in what he's doing. And his wife, I mean, he married the perfect woman for him, Elaine, who works with him. So that's the other thing, is like Capricorns have to have a really good partner that can work with them and their uniqueness at times too. So just saying. So there you guys go. So have a fabulous day. Put some music on, allow yourself to move. If you're interested in doing the Journey Club, let me know. It's $444 and there is payment plans. And I can actually guarantee you, and there are people out there that will let you know how fabulous Journey Club has been for them and transformational for them. And even ones who've gotten mad at me and who've walked away from me have come back and said, you know what? The Journey Club really helped me get through some shit. Thank you. So Journey Club's there, and then we have the chakra class that's going to be coming up the same week. So if you're wanting to do the chakra class, if you're wanting to redo Journey Club, definitely you can. It is $100 to redo it. So if you're interested. So there you guys go. Have a blessed one, everybody. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless you. And love you all. Sending you out some positive love today. Understand the Scorpio energy. As you can see, I'm a Scorpio. So I get it. And if you're wanting to book a natal chart reading, please book in a natal chart reading. Let's go over your chart and see the shenanigans that are going on, and to help you to work through to gain your prosperity, health, wealth, and longevity. Blessed be everybody. Bye-bye.